Chaos once again engulfs Genoa City as the infamous villains Jordan and Ian Ward resurface with a sinister plan to ruin Sharon Newman's life. These men, known for their dark history of crime and vengeance, orchestrate a scheme that plunges Sharon into a life-or-death ordeal, dragging her loved ones into a desperate race against time. The nightmare begins with Jordan and Ian targeting Sharon through a malicious setup, attempting to frame her for the murder of Heather, a mysterious figure linked to Ian's past. However, their plan crumbles when the fabricated evidence fails to deceive the authorities. Determined to exact revenge, the villains hatch an even more sinister plot, eliminating Sharon entirely. Their method is chilling. They lure her into an abandoned sewer system, a cold, dark labyrinth designed to isolate her from the outside world. Trapped in this desolate environment, Sharon fights for survival. She employs every ounce of ingenuity, using rusted metal bars and fragments of concrete in a desperate attempt to escape. But Jordan and Ian have laid a deadly trap. Anticipating her struggle, they leave behind a bottle of water laced with PCP, a potent hallucinogen. Exhausted and dehydrated, Sharon unwittingly drinks the poisoned water. The drug takes hold quickly, plunging her into a harrowing state of hallucinations and physical collapse. Alone in the darkness, Sharon's life hangs by a thread. Meanwhile, her loved ones launch a frantic search. Nick Newman, Sharon's devoted friend, teams up with Chance Chancellor, a skilled investigator, to uncover her whereabouts. Their mission is fraught with challenges as Jordan and Ian have meticulously erased all traces of their involvement. Clues are scarce, and each lead leads to another dead end, heightening their desperation as time slips away. A breakthrough occurs when an eyewitness reports seeing suspicious activity near the sewer system. Acting on this information, Nick and Chance mobilize a rescue operation. As they race against the clock, the obstacles planted by Jordan and Ian test their resolve. Outside the sewer, Nick hears faint noises, igniting hope that Sharon might still be alive. Inside, Sharon's strength wanes as the poison wreaks havoc on her body. She hears distant sounds, voices and footsteps, but cannot discern if they signify rescue or doom. Just when it seems all hope is lost, Nick and Chance breach the sewer's entrance. Nick rushes to Sharon's side, finding her motionless and barely breathing. Overcome with emotion, he carries her out, placing her in the hands of awaiting medics. As Sharon fights for her life, Chance and the police track down Jordan and Ian to an abandoned warehouse. A tense confrontation ensues, resulting in the capture of both villains. With justice served, the focus shifts back to Sharon, who awakens in the hospital surrounded by her loved ones. Though scared by the ordeal, she is comforted by their unwavering support. This harrowing episode serves as a reminder of Sharon's resilience and the strength of the bonds she shares with those who care for her. Genoa City may have regained its temporary peace, but the shadows of danger always loom, a testament to the fragility of safety and the enduring power of love and determination. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. In The Young and the Restless, the drama intensifies as Claire Newman finds herself caught in a web of deceit and danger. Her loyalty is tested as Jordan, a shadow from her past, resurfaces with a chilling agenda. Jordan contacts Claire, his tone dripping with suspicion and veiled threats, warning her of the consequences if she dares to betray him. He reveals he has a mysterious accomplice and insinuates that someone close to her could pay the price for her defiance. Claire, with her composed exterior masking inner turmoil, agrees to meet Jordan, but not before confiding in Victoria and Nicky Newman. In a tense discussion, Claire divulges the details of Jordan's threats, leaving Victoria deeply worried. Victoria suspects that Claire might be considering drastic actions, and despite Nicky's attempts to reassure her, The fear of Claire crossing an unforgivable line looms over the Newman family. Meanwhile, Victor Newman senses something amiss and uncovers a shocking lead involving security footage of a man linked to Sharon Newman's kidnapping. Though Victor doesn't fully grasp the depth of Jordan and Claire's plot, his instincts tell him that a dangerous secret is being kept from him. As the Newman family wrestles with uncertainty, Claire meets Jordan in a dimly lit park, their interaction fraught with tension. Jordan's probing questions and veiled threats push Claire to the edge, forcing her to maintain her icy facade. To gain his trust, Claire manipulates Jordan by suggesting a ruthless plan, eliminating Victoria to gain control over the Newman fortune. Jordan hesitates, torn between mistrust and temptation, while Claire carefully orchestrates every move, setting a trap for him. Unbeknownst to Jordan, Claire's ultimate goal is to protect her family while dismantling his plans. However, her methods leave the Newmans questioning her true intentions. Nikki silently grapples with whether Claire's actions are born of loyalty or a hidden agenda, while Victor and Victoria begin to suspect that Claire is playing a dangerous double game. Elsewhere, Chance Chancellor informs Nick Newman of a critical development. Sharon's car was spotted near the Riverbank Motel before it sank into the river. Surveillance footage points to Ian Ward's involvement, raising the stakes in Sharon's disappearance. Nick's desperation to find Sharon leads him and Chance to the motel, where they uncover potential evidence, including a wine bottle and lipstick-stained glass. As Chance prepares to escalate the investigation, Jordan, eavesdropping on their conversation, realizes her precarious position. Determined to stop the Newmans from uncovering her secrets, Jordan devises a plan to thwart the investigation, setting the stage for an explosive confrontation. The Newman family faces a battle on multiple fronts as secrets, betrayal, and danger converge. Claire's precarious balance between crime and loyalty, Jordan's manipulative schemes, and the search for Sharon collide in a whirlwind of intrigue. Will Claire outsmart Jordan and protect her family, or will her dangerous gamble lead to her downfall? The answers lie in the shadows of Genoa City, where every decision carries life-altering consequences. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sharon's miraculous journey. A tale of resilience and redemption. The night was dark, and the rain fell mercilessly on the cold asphalt as Sharon stumbled forward, her bare feet scraping against the rough surface of the road. Each drop of rain seemed to echo her anguish, but also her determination. She had finally escaped the hellish prison that had confined her for so long, a place where her soul had been tested to its very core. She didn't know how far Genoa City was, but the thought of returning to the life and people she loved fueled every shaky step she took. The rain pierced her skin like shards of ice, but she didn't care. The world seemed foreign and distorted, a strange liminal space where reality blended with dreams. Sharon had one goal: to make it back home. She carried no possessions, only the weight of her trauma and the fire of her willpower. It was both a miraculous escape and a testament to her indomitable spirit. Still, the journey was grueling, and every passing moment tested her limits. A shocking reunion, Sharon and Mariah. As she reached the outskirts of Genoa City, Sharon's frail figure was barely recognizable in the dim light. Her hair clung to her face, soaked from the relentless downpour. Then she saw Mariah, her daughter. Sharon blinked, unable to trust her own eyes. Was this real, or was it some cruel hallucination conjured by her exhausted mind? Mariah, standing under the awning of a nearby cafe, froze when she saw the figure approaching her. At first, she dismissed it as a trick of the light, or perhaps her imagination playing cruel tricks. But as the figure drew closer, Maria gasped, her heart pounding wildly. "Mom?" Maria whispered, her voice barely audible over the sound of the rain. Sharon stopped in her tracks, her body trembling from the cold and overwhelming emotion. She tried to speak, but could only manage a hoarse whisper. It's me, Mariah. I'm here." For a moment, the two women stood frozen, staring at each other. Maria's mind raced, trying to comprehend the impossible. Sharon had been presumed dead, or worse, lost forever in some inescapable torment. And yet here she was, standing before her in flesh and blood. "No, this isn't real," Mariah stammered, backing away slightly. You're a ghost, or I'm dreaming. This can't be real." "Mariah," Sharon choked out, tears streaming down her face despite the rain. "It's me. I'm alive. I've come back to you." Maria's breathing quickened as the weight of Sharon's words began to sink in. Her legs gave out, and she dropped to her knees, overwhelmed by emotion. Then, as though breaking free from a trance, she sprang forward, wrapping her arms around Sharon in a desperate embrace. "Mom, oh my God, Mom, you're alive," Mariah sobbed, her voice breaking with a mixture of joy, disbelief, and pain. "I love you so much. I thought I'd never see you again." Sharon clung to her daughter, her own tears flowing freely. The years of suffering, the fear, and the heartbreak all seemed to melt away in that moment. She had made it back against all odds. But her ordeal wasn't over yet. The collapse, Sharon's struggle for recovery. As Maria held Sharon tightly, she noticed how weak her mother felt. Sharon's body was trembling uncontrollably, her breaths shallow and uneven. "Mom, are you okay? You're freezing," Mariah exclaimed, pulling back to look at Sharon's face. I need to tell everyone. Sharon began, but before she could finish, her body gave out. Her eyes rolled back, and she collapsed into Mariah's arms. Mom, Maria cried, panic setting in as she gently laid Sharon on the ground. "Help! Someone help us!" An ambulance arrived within minutes, rushing Sharon to the hospital. Maria stayed by her side the entire time, gripping her hand and willing her to wake up. The doctors worked quickly, assessing Sharon's condition. While her physical injuries were minimal, her body bore no visible wounds. Her mental state was another story entirely. The Young and the Restless recap for Wednesday, January 8, shows Damien doesn't trust Nate's motives. Lily, Abby, and Devin worry about Nate's situation in Los Angeles, and Billy gets plenty of advice that he has no intention of following. What happened on The Young and the Restless today? At Society, Lily joined Devin and Abby for dinner. They discussed Nate's trip to Los Angeles. Devin revealed his plan to let Nate offer a job at Winters as a cover for starting a conversation with his half-brother, Damien. Lily was stunned. She criticized the deception, and Abby also expressed her doubts. After debating, Devin assured them that no decision would be finalized without their consent. Reluctantly, Lily and Abby agreed to let Nate proceed. In Los Angeles, Nate and Audra met at a cafe to strategize. Nate tried to contact Damien but left several messages. Audra told him not to seem overly eager. Waiting for a response, they speculated about Damien's reaction and discussed Amy's fears about reuniting with her son. Amy showed up, thrilled by the news that Damien had agreed to meet Nate, but she worried it could all backfire. Nate reassured her, suggesting the meeting could repair their fractured relationship. Audra encouraged Amy to focus on the positives and proposed a shopping trip to ease her nerves. Later, Damien arrived and introduced himself as Damien King. During their conversation, he questioned Nate's motivations, pointing out his inconsistent job history. Despite Damien's intrigue about the offer, he pressed Nate for honesty about the true purpose of the meeting, leaving Nate on the defensive. Family ties. Back at Society, Abby and Devin continued discussing Nate's situation. Devin confided his worries about Nate meeting his half-brother. Abby comforted him, and the conversation turned to Devin's own experiences of reuniting with his biological family. Both Abby and Devin agreed that the situation required patience and understanding. Devin still worried about Damien rejecting Nate. They thought about the challenges ahead and resolved to support Nate no matter how it all turned out. Meanwhile, Billy saw Chelsea at Crimson Lights. Their initial exchange was awkward, but they eventually discussed their children. Chelsea assumed Billy was struggling with his exit from Chancellor, but he revealed plans to reclaim the company. Chelsea advised him to move on and understand Jill's perspective. However, Billy dismissed her advice. Their conversation ended tensely, but Chelsea wished him well. She wasn't thrilled by his unwillingness to change. After Chelsea left, Lily showed up and found Billy brooding. He proposed they join forces to seek revenge on Nikki and Victor, but Lily declined. She revealed she'd moved on and was content with her life. Ultimately, Lily wished Billy well and suggested that he return to Jebbutt. Sharon's harrowing journey of survival began in the damp confines of an underground chamber, where the air clung cold and heavy to her skin. Armed with nothing but an iron rod and sheer determination, she fought against the chains that bound her, her every swing a mixture of desperation and hope. Cameron's absence weighed on her as she struggled for freedom, his promised aid replaced by bitter betrayal. With one final, defiant swing, Sharon broke free of her chains, but the massive iron door stood as the next obstacle to her escape. Gritting her teeth, she attacked the hinges, refusing to give in despite the physical toll. Her strength and resilience drove her forward, even as her captor Jordan discovered the broken chains and realized Sharon was missing. Lurking in the shadows, Sharon seized the opportunity to incapacitate Jordan, striking her and retrieving the key to the iron door. As the door creaked open, Sharon stepped into the icy forest, her breath forming clouds in the frigid air. The forest was a maze of towering trees and treacherous underbrush, each step further testing her endurance. Exhaustion and the biting cold gnawed at her resolve, but Sharon pressed on, relying on her instincts and sheer willpower to survive. The forests seemed unending until she stumbled upon a faint light in the distance, a beacon of hope. Her triumph was not just in reaching the cabin, but in proving to herself that she could endure and overcome even the greatest betrayal. Meanwhile, Jordan, fueled by anger and desperation, pursued Sharon through the stormy night. The forest turned against her as the rain obscured her vision, and the terrain erased Sharon's tracks. Despite her ferocity and cunning, Jordan's grip on the situation began to crumble as the storm intensified, forcing her to confront the reality that her prey had outwitted her. For Sharon, every moment in the forest was a fight for survival. She dove into thickets, pressed herself into the damp earth, and endured the piercing cold, refusing to let Jordan's hunt break her spirit. The storm acted as an unlikely ally, shielding Sharon from discovery and giving her a fighting chance against her relentless captor. As dawn broke, Sharon found a dirt road and flagged down a passing car, her strength nearly spent but her spirit unbroken. Tears streamed down her face as she realized her ordeal was finally over. Sharon's escape was more than a physical triumph. It was a testament to her inner strength, resilience, and refusal to succumb to fear. Far behind, Jordan sat defeated, her carefully crafted plans undone by a woman she had underestimated. Sharon's victory was not just about survival. It was about reclaiming her agency and proving that no one could control her fate. Her journey, marked by betrayal, courage, and unrelenting determination, underscored the power of resilience in the face of unimaginable odds. Shocking update for Beth Maitland. Fans are mourning the new chapter in Tracy Abbott's life. In a stunning turn of events on The Young and the Restless, Tracy Abbott, portrayed by the talented Beth Maitland, is at the heart of a surprising new romance that's sending shockwaves through the fan base. Known for her long-running role in the Abbott family saga, Tracy's unexpected new chapter has left fans captivated and eagerly discussing the latest developments. Here's a closer look at the surprising updates surrounding Tracy Abbott and what it means for her future. A surprising romance for Tracy. After years of navigating complex relationships and often being sidelined in the Abbott family drama, Tracy is stepping into the spotlight with a new love interest. Fans are excited to see a fresh, romantic side of her character as she embarks on a journey that promises emotional depth and hope. Tracy's personal growth. This new romance isn't the only change in Tracy's life. The storyline emphasizes her personal growth over the years. From being a quiet observer in the family's chaos to someone forging her own path, Tracy is becoming a woman of strength, independence, and resilience. Fans are thrilled to witness this transformation. Professional achievements and challenges. Along with her emotional evolution, Tracy has made strides in her career, showcasing her professional successes. However, her achievements have not come without their share of emotional challenges. Tracy's story reflects a woman who has had to fight for both personal and professional happiness, resonating deeply with viewers who have followed her journey. Enter Dr. Alan Lauren. Tracy's new love interest is Dr. Alan Lauren, a mysterious psychologist who adds intrigue and excitement to her life. With his calm demeanor and intellectual charm, Alan brings a sense of possibility to Tracy's future, one that is filled with potential for happiness and connection, something her character has longed for. Fans are reacting strongly. The twist has sparked a flurry of reactions from the young and the restless viewers. Fans are reflecting on Tracy's journey and the significance of this new romance, hopeful that it marks a turning point in her life. For many, this development brings a sense of joy and optimism for Tracy's future, signaling that perhaps happiness is finally within reach for the beloved character. Tracy Abbott's new romance with Dr. Alan Lauren is more than just an exciting plot twist. It's a symbol of the growth, change, and potential for happiness that viewers have been waiting to see in her storyline. As Tracy begins this new chapter, fans can't help but hope that her future is as bright as the hope that has sparked in her heart. Stay tuned to see where this unexpected romance leads and how it continues to shape Tracy's journey in the young and restless universe. Shocking news: Nick Newman dies peacefully at home. A heartbreaking farewell to a fan-favorite character. In a shocking turn of events, the young and the restless has just delivered devastating news to fans. Nick Newman, one of the most beloved characters in Genoa City, has tragically passed away. The news comes just 1 hour after an emotional episode aired, leaving viewers in a state of disbelief. Nick Newman's sudden death, a heart-wrenching goodbye. Fans were left in complete shock as the beloved Nick Newman, played by Joshua Morrow, was confirmed to have passed away peacefully at his home. This heartbreaking development has left the Newman family and Genoa City reeling as the news spreads like wildfire. How did this happen? What led to Nick's untimely death? Details are still emerging, but one thing is certain: this marks the end of an era for the young and the restless. Clues and suspicion. What's really happening in Genoa City? While Nick's tragic passing looms over Genoa City, there's another mystery unfolding. In the latest episode spoilers, Chance Chancellor and Nick were seen searching Ian Ward's hotel room, desperately looking for any clues that could lead to Sharon Newman's whereabouts. However, it seems the case is far from straightforward. Chance discovers a glass with a lipstick stain, suggesting that Ian may have had an accomplice, a woman who could be linked to Sharon's disappearance. As Chance and Nick begin to piece together the puzzle, Jordan is also under suspicion. She overhears their conversation and realizes that the police are closing in on her. But Jordan's mind seems to be elsewhere as she focuses on reconnecting with Claire Grace Newman, continuing her own dangerous schemes. A deadly plan unfolds: Claire's killer scheme. The real shocker, however, comes with the reveal of Claire's dark and twisted plan. Spoilers reveal that Claire is working alongside Nikki Newman and Victoria Newman to eliminate Jordan for good. Claire's plan involves earning Jordan's trust and luring her to a killing location. But will it be successful? What will happen when Victor Newman starts growing suspicious of Nikki and the Newman women's secretive behavior? Victor's sharp instincts, lead him to interrupt a conversation between Claire, Nikki, and Victoria. And although they cover up their tracks, Victor is not easily fooled. Could this mean trouble for the Newman family? If Victor learns of their deadly plan, will he intervene? Or will he let the dark deed play out? Nikki's dark struggle and Victor's growing suspicion. As the drama intensifies, fans are left wondering how this will affect Nikki's sobriety. Could the guilt of taking a life send her spiraling back into alcohol abuse? The emotional toll of these decisions might push Nikki to the brink, especially with Claire's escalating mental health issues. What's next for Genoa City? With so many shocking twists and tangled storylines, the future of Genoa City is more uncertain than ever. Nick's unexpected death leaves a void that no one can fill, and the dangerous plots unfolding around the Newman family are only getting darker. Will Victor step in to stop Claire's deadly plan? How will the family cope with the loss of Nick, and what consequences will follow? Fans are on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting the next episode of The Young and the Restless. The drama is heating up, and it's clear that no one in Genoa City is safe. Will Nick's death be the catalyst for even more chaos, or will it lead to a path of redemption for those left behind? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Genoa City will never be the same again. Stay tuned for more shocking updates. And don't forget to share your thoughts on this heart-wrenching episode in the comments below. The Young and the Restless has been delivering its fair share of drama in recent weeks, and the latest spoilers for the week of January 20th have set the stage for an explosive showdown with devastating consequences. The tension between key characters is reaching a boiling point, and the fallout is going to be catastrophic for one unlucky individual. CLA's strategic moves. CLA, a character recently embroiled in a dangerous web of deceit, has been working hard to gain her aunt's trust while secretly plotting against the manipulative Jordan. Her efforts to break free from Jordan's grip take a strategic turn as she prepares to expose his true nature to the people who matter most. CLA is determined to take control of her own fate, and she knows that Jordan's manipulative tactics must be stopped before it's too late. Nikki takes action. As the tension escalates, CLA shares vital information with Nikki about Jordan's dangerous nature. This revelation leads to a plan being formed, one that is aimed at confronting Jordan once and for all. Nikki, always one for action, devises a risky strategy to lure Jordan into a trap. The plan involves not only CLA but also Victoria, who becomes an essential ally in executing the complex scheme. The trap is set, and it seems like the perfect opportunity to finally bring Jordan down. Victor's curiosity sparks trouble. However, as the women begin to put their plan into motion, things start to take a turn. Victor, ever the suspicious and protective patriarch, becomes intrigued by the sudden secrecy surrounding the women's actions. His curiosity leads him to eavesdrop on their conversations, and what he overhears only heightens the drama. The stage is set for a showdown, but Victor's involvement in the unfolding situation could cause things to spiral in unexpected and dangerous directions. The tragic consequences. As the planned confrontation unfolds, it becomes clear that not everything is going to go according to plan. The tension in the air is palpable, and viewers are on the edge of their seats as the situation reaches its climax. What starts as a calculated effort to take down Jordan turns into a heartbreaking tragedy. The showdown ends with a shocking and tragic death, leaving the characters and the viewers reeling from the devastating loss. A new era of drama for Y and R. This tragic event marks a pivotal moment in The Young and the Restless. The consequences of this showdown will reverberate throughout the lives of the characters involved, particularly Nikki, CLA, and Victoria. As the dust settles, the characters will have to come to terms with the aftermath, and the viewers will be left wondering what's next in this heart-stopping saga. One thing is certain: the drama on Y and R is far from over. and fans can expect even more shocking twists and emotional moments in the weeks to come. The tragic death marks the end of one chapter, but the fallout will shape the future of Genoa City in ways no one could have predicted. In the dark, stifling basement, Sharon sat defeated, her arms hugging her knees as she fought against despair. Days, possibly weeks, had passed since her imprisonment, leaving her disoriented and weak. She had screamed, banged on the walls, and even clawed at the locked door, but no help came. Hunger gnawed at her and tears had long dried, leaving her parched and hopeless. Just when she began to accept her grim fate, the door creaked open. A man with a baseball cap entered, carrying a tray of food. As the dim light illuminated his face, Sharon's heart stopped. Standing before her was J.T. Hellstrom, a presumed dead specter from her past. J.T.'s presence sent her spiraling into disbelief and fear as he mocked her predicament, making it clear he had plans for her to pay for her mistakes. J.T. Hellstrom's sudden return was a shock, not just to Sharon, but to Genoa City at large. Once a terror to Victoria Newman and the Newman family, J.T. had been presumed dead, yet here he was, alive and harboring a deep vendetta. Sharon was left questioning her sanity, struggling to differentiate between delusion and reality. Meanwhile, Jordan, G's new ally, reveled in Sharon's torment. Jordan had met J.T. during her time in prison, forming an alliance rooted in mutual hatred for the Newmans. Their shared vendetta made J.T. the perfect weapon for Jordan's schemes, though his own motives remained chillingly personal. Jordan's manipulation of Sharon and J.T.'s haunting presence marked the beginning of a calculated plan to dismantle the Newmans from within. As Sharon pleaded for her life, J.T.'s cold demeanor revealed his unforgiving nature. He mocked her desperation, blaming her connection to the Newmans for her downfall. Simultaneously, Jordan tightened her grip on her schemes, knowing Sharon's mental fragility could serve her purposes. However, Jordan's alliance with J.T. was fragile. J.T.'s personal demons and thirst for vengeance made him unpredictable. Strange incidents in Genoa City, a string of sabotage deals and leaked secrets, stirred suspicions within the Newman family. The possibility of J.T.'s survival loomed large, and Sharon's claims about his reappearance, though dismissed by many, planted seeds of doubt. Victor Newman, haunted by his past with J.T., braced himself for the storm brewing on the horizon. The tension escalated as J.T. stepped out of the shadows, sending shockwaves through Genoa City. Victor Newman and his family realized the gravity of the threat, knowing J.T.'s hatred for them had only grown during his years in hiding. J.T., fueled by rage, was determined to make the Newmans pay for the destruction of his career and life. Meanwhile, Claire and Kyle, caught in the crossfire of Jordan and J.T.'s alliance, fought to protect their family and future. The Newman family scrambled to uncover the pair's endgame, but Jordan and J.T.'s cunning made them formidable foes. As alliances were tested and secrets unraveled, the battle for Genoa City intensified, leaving the Newmans and their allies to face an unpredictable and relentless enemy. The stakes had never been higher. The passage contains a highly dramatic and suspenseful narrative involving several interconnected plots and characters from the young and the restless. The major events include Claire Newman and Jordan's tense battle over hidden secrets, Sharon Newman's harrowing escape from captivity, and Victor and Nikki Newman's confrontation with Jordan. Additionally, the return of Ian Ward to society introduces a new layer of tension, particularly in his interactions with Tessa Porter and Mariah Copeland. Claire and Jordan's tense confrontation, a psychological chess match where Claire's trust in Jordan erodes due to his deceit about Sharon's whereabouts, culminating in escalating tension over a suspicious cup of tea. Victor and Nikki's showdown with Jordan. The Newman family's unyielding resolve to protect Sharon and expose Jordan's schemes reaches a boiling point at the stables. Victor's commanding presence and Nikki's emotional pleas corner Jordan, even as he remains defiant. Sharon's courageous escape. Despite being weakened by toxins, Sharon's determination to break free adds a thrilling subplot. Her reappearance at the stables shifts the power dynamics and provides crucial evidence against Jordan. Ian Ward's intrusion. His arrival at society creates conflict, particularly with Mariah and Tessa. Ian's manipulative behavior and Mariah's fierce defense of her wife hint at a brewing storm that could entangle Genoa City further. The narrative masterfully intertwines action, emotion, and suspense, leaving unresolved tensions that promise even more dramatic developments in future episodes. Jordan hides in a dark alley in Genoa City, her heart racing as she listens to Chance Chancellor, who is determined to uncover Sharon's secrets. Jordan has dedicated her life to protecting Sharon, but with Chance closing in, she finds herself in a deadly game of survival. As Chance declares that Sharon won't escape this time, Jordan's instincts scream for her to run, but she hesitates, which costs her dearly. A chase ensues through the darkened streets, with Jordan desperately trying to outrun Chance. Despite her efforts, she stumbles, injuring herself, but continues running until she takes refuge in an abandoned warehouse, only to be confronted by Chance. In a tense showdown, Chance captures her, handcuffing her, and offering her a deal to betray Sharon in exchange for freedom. The offer from Chance seems tempting, but Jordan refuses to betray Sharon, even when faced with the possibility of spending her life in prison. Chance, frustrated by Jordan's loyalty, tries to break her resolve by appealing to her emotions and reasoning with her, but Jordan stands firm. She believes in the promise she made to Sharon and chooses loyalty over her own survival. Despite the pressure, Jordan remains defiant, and Chance eventually releases her from the handcuffs, though he warns her that staying in Genoa City would be a death sentence. As Jordan walks away, she feels at peace with her decision, knowing that she has sacrificed everything for Sharon. The moment is bittersweet, as she knows her time is running out, but her commitment to Sharon is unwavering. Inside the precinct, Chance and Nick Newman argue over how to handle Jordan, who remains silent and defiant. Nick's anger boils over as he demands answers, convinced that Jordan is stalling and holding back critical information that could save Sharon's life. Chance, however, remains calm, knowing that rushing in with brute force won't work on someone like Jordan. They need a strategy to outsmart her, but time is running out. Chance proposes a deal. If Jordan helps them find Sharon, he will offer her protection and ensure she is kept safe from Genoa City. Jordan, unimpressed, refuses to cooperate, knowing that her survival depends on Sharon's death. She is playing a dangerous game, counting on Sharon's demise to secure her own victory. As the hours pass, the tension builds both in the precinct and in the holding cell where Jordan is being kept. Nick is growing increasingly desperate as Sharon's life hangs in the balance. Chance, however, remains focused, trying to outthink Jordan, who is playing a long game. Jordan, in the holding cell, remains silent, knowing that her silence is the key to winning. Despite the mounting pressure, Chance refuses to give up. The weight of the situation presses down on him as he desperately searches for a crack in Jordan's armor. As the minutes tick by, both Chance and Nick realize that they are losing the battle. Sharon's fate is becoming more uncertain, and Jordan's victory is becoming more likely unless they can figure out a way to turn the tide in time. After a shifty reintroduction into Genoa City that involved Ian Ward claiming to be a man of God, seeking to make amends for his sins, the young and restless master manipulator is about to kick his true agenda into high gear for what may be the very last time. Following an unexpected glitch in the plan, which saw his partner in crime Jordan turn on him, Ian Ward is now on the roam on his own. With no time to lose given the volatility and unpredictability of his former teammate, the former cult leader will be under pressure to make something happen. In the back of Ward's mind right now, he will be aware of the possibility of Jordan being apprehended and throwing him under the bus. It would hardly be surprising, for example, if she fingered him as Heather Stevens' killer to save her own behind. Therefore, we can expect Ward's plot to, reconnect with Mariah, the young woman he stole from her mother as a baby and raised in his cult as a daughter, to go into overdrive now that time is of the essence. Indeed, young and restless spoilers tell us that Ian will torment Mariah in Thursday's episode. This doesn't exactly sound endearing, especially when you're trying to win someone over, but hey, we're not privy to the inner workings of Ian's mind. Thankfully. On the heels of the torment, Mariah is set to make a shocking discovery, and we can't help but fear the worst based on the Y and R weekly preview video, which teased Ian asking Tessa for help in a supposed scheme to prove to her wife just how desperately sorry he is for abducting and brainwashing her. Of course, we all know Ian isn't one bit sorry and is using the same type of manipulation on Tessa to suck her in. Despite knowing Ward's history, the formerly streetwise singer is falling for it because of his previous maneuver, which saw him create a scenario in which he supposedly saved her life. Ward's plan to get Mariah back is a blood-chilling one, given that he's messing with Tessa and possibly Aria in order to manipulate the redhead into doing his bidding once again. Ward will be looking to cash in on Mariah's terror once she knows he's in control of her wife. But what he might be underestimating is the power of her fierce love for her family and her hatred for him. Let's not forget that Mariah believes Ward is behind Sharon's murder charge and her frightening disappearance. She confided in Nick how guilty she feels that Ian returned because of her. Fueled by guilt, terror, revenge, and love, Mariah could prove to be a force to be reckoned with that the aging puppeteer simply hadn't anticipated. In fact, she might decide to see to it that this latest blood-chilling scheme is his final act. On the other hand, it could be Tessa who comes to her senses at the 11th hour and ends the man who spent a lifetime tormenting her lady love. Either way, this could be Ian's last stand. If you thought the drama in Genoa City was slowing down, think again. The Young and the Restless is about to deliver a jaw-dropping episode on Thursday, January 23, 2025, that will leave fans on the edge of their seats. The dangerous and unpredictable Jordan is finally facing the moment of truth. Could this be the end of her reign of terror, or does she have one last trick up her sleeve? Let's dive into the explosive details of this must-watch episode. Jordan's last stand, cornered and desperate. Jordan has been playing a dangerous game for months, manipulating, scheming, and putting lives in jeopardy. But now, it looks like her time is up. With the walls closing in on her, she has nowhere left to run. Reports say that Victor Newman and Nick Newman have finally set the perfect trap, determined to put an end to Jordan's chaos once and for all. After everything she has done to the Newman family, especially Claire, Victoria, and Nikki, there's no way she'll be allowed to walk away unscathed. But will Jordan go down quietly, or will she fight to the bitter end? Victor Newman's ruthless move, no more mercy. When Victor Newman declares war, there's no escaping his wrath. And this time, he's making sure Jordan pays the ultimate price for what she's done. Sources hint that Victor will make a bold move that will leave fans gasping. Could he be the one to personally deliver justice? After all, no one messes with the Newman family and gets away with it. One thing is certain, Jordan is out of options, and Victor is in control. But is there one last twist waiting in the shadows? Claire's final confrontation. Will she get closure? Jordan's biggest victim has been Claire Grace, who was manipulated and brainwashed into believing Jordan's lies for years. Now, with Jordan finally facing the consequences, Claire has a choice to make. Will she seek revenge, or will she walk away from her past for good? This emotional confrontation will be one of the most intense moments of the episode. Will Claire finally get the closure she deserves, or will Jordan use this opportunity to twist the knife one last time? A fatal ending? Will Jordan meet her demise? Rumors are swirling that this could be Jordan's final episode. Could she face a deadly fate at the hands of an enemy she never saw coming? With tensions running high and so many people wanting revenge, anything is possible. Will Jordan be arrested and locked away forever? Or could a shocking death rock Genoa City to its core? One thing's for sure, this is an episode you can't miss. Final thoughts. The end of an era. The Young and the Restless has delivered some unforgettable villains over the years, but Jordan's time may finally be up. With the Newmans closing in, Claire standing her ground, and Victor ready to strike, the question remains, will Jordan survive this ultimate showdown?